Welcome to Cumberland Update, your source for information about Cumberland County news and events. I'm your host, Geneve Mankel. It's been several weeks since Hurricane Florence came through Cumberland County, but recovery efforts are ongoing. There are several resources and programs available to help our residents. Anyone who is currently receiving food and nutrition benefits and experienced flood damage or power outages may apply for replacement food and nutrition services benefits. To apply, go to the Department of Social Services at 1225 Ramsey Street, Monday through Friday, from 7:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. The deadline to apply for replacement benefits is October 15th. These benefits are only for those already receiving food benefits. The application period for disaster food stamps for those not on assistance has passed. The state of North Carolina and FEMA have opened a disaster recovery center at the Cumberland County Department of Social Services. It's open Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. and Sunday from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. The center offers in-person support to individuals and businesses in Cumberland County, as well as other counties included in the North Carolina Major Disaster Declaration. Recovery specialists from FEMA, the U.S. Small Business Administration, the state, and other organizations are at the center to talk about assistance and to help anyone who needs guidance in filling out an application. Homeowners, renters, and businesses should register for disaster assistance before visiting the Recovery Center. To register, go to disasterassistance.gov or call 800-621-3362. Cumberland County has contracted for storm debris removal services. If you have debris related to Hurricane Florence, you may be eligible for debris removal services. Residents who live in unincorporated areas of Cumberland County and who live on a state-maintained road can call the Cumberland County Debris Reporting phone line at 910-438-4044. When calling, you'll be asked to leave your name, address, phone number, and the type of debris you need picked up. Because of FEMA restrictions, debris contractors cannot collect debris from private streets. If you're unsure whether you reside in an unincorporated area of the county, you can use the debris removal map to search for your address. You can find a link to the map on the debris removal section of the county's website. You can also find information about properly sorting your debris and where to place your debris for pickup. Please do not bag any debris and do not place household garbage out for pickup. Residents affected by Hurricane Florence can find information about resident assistance, food pantries, donations, and more in the Community Resource Directory. The directory is available on the homepage of the county website. To stay up to date on all Hurricane Florence recovery information, visit our website at co.cumberland.nc.us or follow us on Facebook by searching for Cumberland NC. Election Day is November 6th. Are you ready? The Cumberland County Board of Elections wants to remind residents of tools and resources available to ensure they are election ready. Residents can use the Voter Search Lookup tool to confirm their voter registration, find their voting location, get information about their voting jurisdiction, as well as view a sample ballot. A link to the tool is available on the Board of Elections webpage by selecting Voters, then selecting Voting Guide. Voters can also cast their ballot early by taking advantage of one-stop voting from October 17th to November 3rd. During one-stop voting, same-day registration will also be available. For a list of locations, dates, and times, visit the Board of Elections website at electionready.net. Registered voters in Cumberland County may also vote by mail by using an absentee ballot. This option is available to everyone, whether you're a busy parent, a service member serving overseas, or someone who simply does not like standing in line. You can complete and print an absentee request form from the Board of Elections website or request a form by mail or in person at the Board of Elections office at 227 Fountainhead Lane. For more information about elections or voting in Cumberland County, visit the Board of Elections website at electionready.net. Cumberland County Libraries will be helping animals in need during 31 Days of Love in October. There will be pet-related activities, pet adoption events, and supply drives throughout October. Pet adoption drives will be held October 13th at 10 a.m. at Hope Mills Branch, October 19th at 1 p.m. at Bordeaux Branch, and October 22nd at 1 p.m. at Cliffdale Regional Branch. All 8 library locations are also accepting donations of pet supplies for animals at the Cumberland County Animal Control Shelter. For more information about 31 Days of Love and other library programs, visit cumberland.lib.nc.us. The holidays are right around the corner, and that means yummy food and festive decor. You can learn how to make the perfect fruitcake November 8th from 10 a.m. until noon. Registration and the $15 registration fee are due by November 6th. Once you've mastered fruitcakes, you can learn how to decorate your home the natural way for the holidays by using plants and other natural materials. This class will be November 13th from noon until 2 p.m. Registration and the $20 registration fee are due by November 9th. These classes are part of the Cooperative Extension's Better Living series and are offered at the Extension office at 301 East Mountain Drive. For more information or to register, call 321-6860 or visit cumberland.ces.ncsu.edu. Veterans Day is November 11th, and to celebrate, the Fayetteville Area Convention and Visitors Bureau will once again host Heroes Homecoming. To talk with me today about this community-wide celebration is the president and CEO of the CVB, Mr. John Morosky. There's a lot of people in our community who may not know what Heroes Homecoming is all about. Tell us a little bit about what Heroes Homecoming is.
Would love to have that opportunity. So Heroes Homecoming is an event that allows our community to come together and celebrate all the great things about the military. Heroes Homecoming incorporates all the communities within Cumberland County, and it's a series of events between November 9th and 12th that celebrates the military. Allows us to come together and give them one big thank you. And it's not just active duty, it's veterans, it's families, it's MIAs, it stretches across all areas of the military.
Now, this isn't the first year that you've done this. I believe it might be the 6th year.
We started in November of 2011. Former Mayor Tony Schiavone had a great idea of doing an event for the Vietnam veterans, and that was to educate our community about the impact that the Vietnam veterans had on Fayetteville and how Fayetteville has transitioned from that day to today. We partnered with the mayor and his committee to add on a reunion, if you will, to the event so that we could give the Vietnam veteran an official welcome home back to Fayetteville. And that piece of it became known as Heroes Homecoming. So we decided to keep it. It worked out so well that, you know, today I'm so proud that 7 years later you can go out there and see Vietnam veterans proudly wearing their caps and people going up and saying thank you. And those are the outcomes that we wanted from doing the event, versus the Vietnam veteran being ashamed, and they shouldn't be, no reason at all. So from that day to now, each year we have celebrated the military and based it on past conflicts where Fayetteville or Cumberland County or the communities of Cumberland County haven't provided a thank you or welcome back home to the people that have participated in those particular conflicts.
Yeah, absolutely. So I mean, in the 7 years, it really has grown and evolved, and there's so many organizations that are involved. And I think it's great that there's so many of the municipalities within Cumberland County who are also involved. Can you tell me a little bit about what organizations are involved this year and some of the activities that they are offering to the community?
The neat thing and as you pointed out, that it's the communities of Cumberland County that have gotten themselves together, and it's one of the few projects that the communities, all 7 or 8 municipalities, are rallying around for the common good, because the military touches them all. So in each way, there is some kind of veteran celebration going on Veterans Day. But about 15 years ago, I was in the Fayetteville parade, and I was on Chamber of Commerce float and going down Hay Street, and when it ended, and that was it. And I'm thinking, where's the big party on Veterans Day? So it was kind of neat that in 2011 that this got kicked off, and now it's at the point of where it's at, that it's a 3-day celebration. It's a weekend's worth of activities that are taking place, that you just don't get off a float and get in your car and you go home. You're able to, carry on the message of the thank you. So first off, the participants are the municipalities of Cumberland County, in specific Eastover, Spring Lake, Fayetteville, and Hope Mills, and each have a role of what they're going to do on Veterans Day, what they're going to do prior to, and even the Chamber of Commerce is going to have a dinner for the spouses of the military, because we need to remember how important the families are of the military. I mean, they are the backbone, and they are the unsung heroes of our military.
Yeah, absolutely. That sounds great.
And
so it's a little bit more than just the parade. There's just so much more involved.
Well, and that's exactly it. I remember, not only riding the float and thinking, okay, that's kind of cool thing to do, but even when we looked at, our calendar of events at the time and said, okay, what's going on for Veterans Day? And there was, a lot of events, but not military themed. And I'm going, well, this doesn't make sense. July 4th, Veterans Day, these should be big events in our community. So, with Cumberland County getting together, and this year it being the 100-year anniversary of Armistice Day, which evolved into Veterans Day, and it also ties in nicely with the 100-year anniversary of Fort Bragg, provided us a great opportunity to get organizations and the municipalities together to celebrate. So there are probably 17, 18 organizations that in some way or another are taking part in this, by either doing a speakers series, sponsoring a dinner, doing some kind of exhibit, a play, some kind of art exhibit, talking about symptoms of PTSD, celebrating the family again, children's activity. So from the gamut, as I had mentioned, it celebrates all facets of the military personnel and civilian, but in particular with 100 years of service, there's a lot to cover in between. It's really our responsibility every day to say thank you to our military and to veterans and to their families. And it's not uncommon to see in our community, when you walk into a restaurant, somebody picking up the tab for a family, or that's really what our backbone is of this community. It's why we're known as a military sanctuary for the military, because of the hundreds of service organizations that support the military. And that's what we want to bring out this year. In fact, each year we try to do 2 or 3 things within the event that really stand out. So last year we started an initiative with having missing man tables throughout Cumberland County. And there were 160 locations that had missing man tables. And this year we will have at least 160, if not more. And it displays and honors that 85,000 people did not come home. And those families had to live with not knowing what happened to their loved one. So we can only imagine the pain that those families suffer. So the least we can do is keep them in our hearts, say a prayer, and these businesses put up a display of a missing man table to honor those folks. So that's being carried over into this year, and that will become an annual tradition for us, so that we keep that alive in people's hearts and minds.
And for those who, haven't seen the missing man table, when you do see it and you can kind of read what the symbolism is behind each of the elements on the table and what it means, it can be a very powerful message. but then you multiply that by 160 organizations and it becomes even more powerful. And even with Cumberland County, we'll have a missing man table at the courthouse once again.
Yes.
And we encourage anyone who comes to the courthouse to take a moment and reflect, or if you see the tables anywhere else around Cumberland County, just take that moment and really reflect on what it means.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely, and it's pretty neat to see that there's a tradition of leaving a coin, that the coins have different meanings for that type of coin, and so if people aren't familiar with it, they can look up Missing Man Table and Google it and see what the traditions behind each piece on that table are. But if there are businesses that want to get involved, all they have to do is contact us and call Angie Brady at the CVB at 483-5311 and request to get involved, and we'll provide all the contents, and all they have to do is pick it up, set it up, and to be part of it.
Yeah.
So, other activities, as we were talking about, that are new, there's a chili cook-off with Dirtbag Ales in Hope Mills. We're doing a motorcycle rally around Festival Park that celebrates Rolling Thunder and their activities, and then a concert, an art exhibit, etc. at the Little Theater, Cape Fear Regional Theater, and a speaker series at ASOM. And that within it is an event within an event, and we're calling it Americon, where there'll be exhibits that show the evolution of Fort Bragg of the last 100 years. We have 3 speakers lined up thus far. There could be a couple others that are going to, talk with us and share their experiences. And we're really pleased to have 2 locals and 1 other. And what's amazing about Fayetteville, with it being such a transitional type of communities, there's a lot of celebrities that have rolled in and out of here. And we have every day, there are so many heroes amongst us. I mean, everybody is a hero in one way or another. But first is E.J. Snyder, who we might know from Naked and Afraid and Dual Survivor. He travels around the circuit, but when he's home, he wants to give back to the military, and he's had 25 years of service. So he's going to share with us his experience within the military, but also survival skills.
Right.
And if anybody can be naked and afraid for 30 days, I'm sure he's got a pretty interesting story to tell.
Right.
The second person, Kevin Mora, who used to work at the Fayetteville Observer, co-wrote a book called No Easy Day, and it was about tracking down and killing Osama bin Laden with a Navy SEAL. And so the Navy SEAL was part of that team, and so he helped write the story of that action that happened. So that in itself is going to be very interesting. And then Lewis Hunt will be here, and he is from Virginia. So the first 2 are Fayetteville, born, bred, or ties to our community. And Lewis Hunt is from Virginia, and Lewis Hunt started an organization called Operation Tattoo, and I'm flipping my page so I can make sure I get this correctly, but Operation Tattoo and Freedom. And he started this organization, and Ryan Harrell, who does a tattooing convention here, found that tattooing was a great way and a great remedy to memorialize, but also to handle conditions of PTSD.
Oh, okay.
And so through this operation that they set up, many folks have been able to get free tattoos, have been able to memorialize, have been able to celebrate through this medium. So just these 3 speakers, it's really cool to look at. You've got one who's talking about survival skills, out there, but also with 25 years of history. You've got another person who tracks down, what started 9/11, and then you've got a third person who's talking about the remedies of PTSD, of what the current affliction happening in today's military. So it's really well-rounded, and we want people to come out to see the exhibits, but to enjoy the talks, to interact with the guests, and so we're really proud of that event as well.
So I know we've touched on it a little bit already, but tell me why Heroes Homecoming is so important to our community. What does it mean about Cumberland County, Fayetteville, and our municipalities that we come together for this?
It's really, really important, and as I'm about to say this, I just got goosebumps, but it's really important to keep in mind the service and sacrifice that our active duty veterans and our military and families have made for us. In this community, there are few communities that can boast that the Constitution was ratified in their community and it's defended from their community. That is Fayetteville, that is Cumberland County, that is the municipalities of Cumberland County. Commissioner Jimmy Keefe was at a meeting once and he had said, you know, we take for granted the bombers flying overhead or men in uniform, exercises going on, and we kind of become blind to it, like it's everyday occurrence. And it is, in essence. You know, we go to the airport and we see somebody saying bye to a loved one, and most times people would go, oh my God, and you know, stop, perhaps cry, perhaps, you know, whatever. And we see that here, but people outside the area that don't experience that, they get to come in and see this and be a part of it and really realize that freedom isn't free. And until you experience these things and you get a greater appreciation for what it is, then that saying, freedom isn't free, it will ring true once you experience that. So for me, professionally, while we've been only doing this for 7 years, it's probably my favorite project to work on, as we get to bring a lot of stories to life. We get to help people share those stories, help people shed tears, help people laugh, help people become friends, reunite, and it is probably the most rewarding thing to experience going through those days. It's very tiring, but at the same time, it's so rewarding. And you know, for you, for example, Genevieve, you hosting me today and allowing me to tell this story and get this message out to the public is very important, and our public should know about it. And you know, again, we kind of take it for granted that we're in such a fantastic community, and these men and women provide us our freedom of speech to talk about this. So it's those things that we like to bring to light and remind people how lucky we are to be Americans.
Right, absolutely. I am so excited for this year's events, and I think that we'll get great turnouts. And if you can just tell me though, how can people find out more about each of these events? Where is there a timeline posted, or a schedule of events rather? Give me that information.
People can go to heroeshomecoming.com, that's heroeshomecoming.com, and there's a calendar of events on that website. And it's also on Facebook, so they can like Facebook and keep up with things that we're adding constantly to that. Or just call our number, 483-5311, and we have a calendar of events brochure that we'd be happy to share with anyone at all.
Well, John, thank you so much for being here and letting us know all about Heroes Homecoming. And we hope that everyone plans to attend as many of the Heroes Homecoming events as they can. And if you need more information, make sure to visit heroeshomecoming.com. Thanks for watching this edition of Cumberland Update. If you would like more information about your county government, please visit our website, give us a call, or follow us on social media. Cumberland County, caring, committed community.